Hey guys, it's time again for your weekly Wednesday Spark. As you notice, I am in a different location this week. I am here watching two of my children play on a playground and one having softball practice. So I figure, why not use a nice sport analogy for this week? And it's pretty much just a little bit of encouragement about how important it is to study the Bible. We can sit and watch softball games on TV, right? We can sit and watch them in person. And we can focus in on exactly what the catcher does here and exactly how the pitcher moves when they throw the ball, exactly how they wind their arm up, right? We can watch exactly how the outfielders run to get up under the ball and catch a fly ball, right? We can watch and watch and watch and we can observe and we can say, we know how to play softball. But do we really know how to play softball? Because watching others play softball and learning how to play softball is not the same as playing. Until you get out on the field and you put in the practice yourself and not just watching someone else do it while you sit on the bench, you're not going to know how to play softball. You're not going to be in the game. So you see, when it comes to the Christian life, and we can read the Bible, and that's all good. We can read the Bible, we can read Christian books. We can go to church on Sundays, Wednesday nights. But until we put what we're reading into practice, we're not living the Christian life. We're just believers reading a book, believing what it says, but not believing that the God who speaks through it is big enough to do anything about it. It's easy for us to say, well, that person that's the best catcher that I've ever seen play the game. I'll never be that good. So I'm just going to let that person do that job and I'm just going to sit and watch because it's just awesome. And you can't help but think of the greats like Billy Graham, D.L. Moody, and there are many others. Those are just two that come to my mind. But we look at those great giants of the faith and we think, I'll never do anything like that. I'll never make that big of an impact on the world. Well, you know what? You might not. But God did put you here to make an impact. And the impact that He wants you to make is greater than you think. Because you could just reach one, maybe two people. That may be all that you've ever reached. But you have no idea who those one or two people may be. What they may become. Or who they may lead to Christ and what they may become. We all have a part to play. The right fielder is just as important as the pitcher. You know why? Because if a ball is hit in the air to right field, the pitcher's not going to catch it. It's the right fielder's job. So whatever it is that God is leading you to do, we can't look at these great missionaries and these great preachers and these great speakers and think that, well, I'll never be what they are. You won't, because God didn't call you to be them. He called them to be them. He called you to be you. And all He wants you to do is follow Him. Is to live what His Word says. Study the Bible. Study it. Don't just read it. Dig into it. Pick out who is this talking to and how does that apply to me today? How can I put this into action? And then move. Put it into action. So that's your weekly Wednesday Spark, just a little bit of encouragement about getting off the bench and getting in the game. Too many of us, we sit on a padded pew, sit on the bench. It's time for us to get up and get in the game. I apologize for the noise, but kids are out here enjoying themselves, so I figure it was a beautiful moment. So thank you guys, and God bless.